The victory celebration in the Cauldron Command Center had been going strong for 2 hours. Warriors from 17 different species shared tales of their battlefield accomplishments, each trying to outdo the last. The war against the Vrex swarm had finally ended, and every soldier present had earned their place at this table. Sergeant James Morrison sat quietly in the corner, nursing a drink that was probably meant for a species 3 times his size. The human Marine had fought on the front lines for all 6 years of the conflict, but he seemed content to let others have their moment of glory. 73 confirmed kills, roared Thaktor, a massive reptilian warrior whose scales still bore scorch marks from the final battle. I personally held the eastern ridge on kilos, 9 against an entire Vrex battalion. The crowd cheered. Kill counts were being thrown around like currency, 50 here, 100 there. Each number was met with impressed clicks, roars, or whatever passed for admiration in each species' culture. Commander Vexalia, an insectoid officer with compound eyes that missed nothing, noticed the silent human. Her species valued directness above all else. Sergeant Morrison, her translator, vocalized. "You've been quiet. What's your count?" The room fell silent. Everyone knew the humans had been instrumental in turning the tide of the war, but their contributions were often overshadowed by the more vocal species. Morrison looked up from his drink, his expression unreadable. "My count?" "Yes," Vexalia pressed. "How many Vrex did you eliminate?" The human Marine blinked slowly, as if the question required careful consideration. Then he asked, voice flat and emotionless, "This planet or all of them?" The silence deepened. Thaktor's celebratory roar died in his throat. "All of them," Vexalia said carefully. Morrison pulled out a small datapad, scrolling through it with practiced efficiency. "Official tally puts me at 4,732 confirmed. Another 2,000 estimated from orbital strikes I called in. That's not counting the Hive ship I scuttled on Proxima 7. The number hung in the air like a physical weight. That's..." Lieutenant KSS Var, a peaceful herbivore species who'd been drafted into medical service, couldn't finish the sentence. "That's impossible. The war was only 6 years long." 6 years, 4 months, 17 days, Morrison corrected quietly. "I was there from day one. Humans don't really do rotation schedules the same way you folks do. They asked for volunteers to stay for the duration. I volunteered." He took another sip of his drink. "You fought for the entire war?" Vexalia's antennae twitched with disbelief. "Without leave? Without rest rotation? Had a week off after the siege of Outer Rim. Spent it on the next deployment." Morrison shrugged. "Someone had to do it." Thaktor leaned forward, his earlier bravado evaporated. "How does a human survive 6 years of continuous combat?" Morrison finally looked up, and for the first time, the other warriors saw something ancient and tired in his eyes, something that had seen too much and kept going anyway. "We don't fight because we're unstoppable," he said softly. "We fight because we don't know how to stop." He stood, placed his empty glass on the table with a gentle clink, and walked toward the exit. Before leaving, he paused at the doorway. 73 is a good number, Thaktor. Be proud of it. Be grateful you can still count. The door closed behind him, leaving a room full of warriors who suddenly felt very young.